One of the things we're finding is that markets are, of course, growing more interconnected than ever before. And that's not news to anybody. Markets are getting flatter geographically, supply chains are getting more connected, digital is crossing everything. There's no longer tech and non-tech. That almost seems quaint at this point. Everything has technology in it. So as markets get more interconnected, one of the properties that emerges at scale is that more extreme events tend to happen. You get more extreme outliers. So for example, I remember it seems like not that long ago when the unicorn list came out of billion-dollar startups. And I remember at the first time I saw it, there were 40 startups worth $1 billion. And my reaction was, oh my gosh, that's so many. Well, now it almost seems cute. I mean, there's hundreds of billion-dollar startups and it almost seems boring when there's a new one almost every week. And so why is this happening? Why are we getting more and more extreme outcomes? And not only are these billion-dollar startups, but often they're massively disruptive to whatever industry they're in and completely changing the landscape. So it's actually this property of interconnection that creates more and more extreme outcomes. Well, not only are we finding extreme outcomes are happening more often, but their magnitude is getting bigger. Now it's not just $1 billion startup. Now there's 4 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, $20 billion startup. The magnitude is getting larger. There's more of them. They're also happening faster than ever before historically. They're rising and falling. So the S-curves are shorter than ever before. So we're in a market where the scale of it and the interconnectivity of it is causing all these extreme events at an ever-increasing rate, which is a very different operating environment for companies than even 10 years ago, certainly more than 50 years ago. It's no longer enough to come out with a great big new hit every 10 years. Now they're coming all the time and disrupting your business and changing your plans. The battle plan you have to make if you really want to grow as a company is to figure out how do you identify at the earliest possible times these extreme outliers, figure out how to work with them and benefit from their growth, ride it for a very short S-curve and get out at the right time, and do that repeatedly and consistently in the most productive way. That is a very different challenge than what most big companies tend to think about when it comes to innovation, which is these 5, 7, 10-year product launches, these plans, these large R&D investments that are going to pay off over a huge horizon. Well, their market might get disrupted 3 or 4 times before that time frame passes. What skills do executives need, and what kind of intelligence and analytics and tools do they need to be able to identify those extreme outcomes, capitalize on them at the best possible time, and also know when to exit? And that's just not an environment that the world has seen before.